of like you don't see
Really?
it.
I
like me.
don't see it.
I'm always critical on certain things, and I'm like, I get compliments. Like, that's a nice shirt because Emily will get me these great shirts.
Yeah.
Great shirts. And then I mean I get compliments on them like, no, babe, I don't. So she'll put me in different colors. I'll be honest with you, I don't really shop for myself.
Is my Leavenworth Associates hanging on the door over there?
I'll get it for you. All right, guys, come in. My stepdad's going to have a conversation while I find his hat real quick.
I find my hat. I guess
we've had a serious conversation about caps here.
We have. We've had a decision of whether we can. Found out that actually everybody in Walthall County does wear caps.
Right.
Not a bad cap.
All right. Thank you.
I mean, it's your brand. I'm wearing my son's name.
Yeah. All right.
My grandson's name. All right. Let's see. Let's go in here and let's go and do a little. Guys, we got a very important person here. You might know him in Stone County, George County, Lucedale, Chevron, retired.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a family there. Shout out to the Dead End Garage, Jason Toleet and the team.
Yeah.
Morgan Tyler Band. I talked to Morgan today. It's like, you're not going to believe who's coming on.
Yep.
This is going to be a very interesting podcast. I would say Steve Lott is House Representative District 107. Very passionate. I'm gonna kick this ad off, but I've been up here for a few months. We've been hanging out. It's been an honor to hang out with you. I can tell you right now, you're an absolutely real person. You've retired from Chevron. You have a family back at home, and you're up here. And your energy is just real. And I'm sorry that you've had a loss recently. I've been praying for you. And I can see, like, I've watched you tear up a little bit and then get back to work. Yeah. You get up every day and put your suit on. That's an honor to be hanging out with you. I really truly respect you. We're kind of like, I guess, like a college roommates situation. This is going to be one of the shows, and for my listeners going to Ingalls, Chevron, that listen in the mornings, I'm gonna work really hard to get this out. I really believe this is going to be one amazing podcast. We're talking about a person that just wants to make a difference in his community. You know how I feel about that. And my stepdad's wearing his hat, and
got my cap.
And shout out to my stepdad too. You've been working really hard during the session. I mean, you hadn't slept.
What's sleep?
I've been getting to wonder, when do you do that?
Well, actually, the way I do it is I just nod off when I'm talking to you, and then I come back. So I get my little brief nod, my little brief sleep episodes in there.
Right.
Well, let me say this about him before you get away from him. He's my next door neighbor here at the complex, and I'm blessed to have him there. He comes for breakfast every morning. He's just somebody it's really good to have good people around me. And one of the things, this building here that we're in, it was full of legislators and other people, is 100% booked. So, you have to plan ahead, and you have to get here.
Well, let's go ahead and shout out Admiral William Lake.
Yeah.
I mean, his design, this is an old building. Look out for Finnegan's going to be open, and that's another one of William's properties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's been working hard. Seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Gonna have some concerts.
Yeah.
William, we love you. And to you, Scott. Yeah, this is a different world. My first full year up here.
Mm-hmm.
Going up, want to pay attention to. You always say this: get your voter card.
Right.
And that's something. But we're gonna kick this off.
We offer home, auto, commercial, builders, reps, and life insurance.
Oliver's good.
Oliver Shots Insurance.
Which like they did today.
Look, he reads so much on the bills with the State Watch and everything that I think a week and a half ago I bought him a desk, a really nice desk, a bicycle, what do you call it, like a treadmill what is that thing called?
Yeah.
Where kick your feet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
row bike, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he's got a nice one under his desk because he's sitting there reading. So it's
Right.
like,
But I mean, it just came in today because of the storm. I've worked on it twice. In fact, just before I came out here, I hit it a good hard run. For a few minutes, I can feel it, get a burn in my legs.
Mhm.
It's good. It's going to be real good.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased to have it.
what if you haven't done the cold plunge with us yet, but have you been doing a little exercise?
Just some little things, stretching and things in the morning, and trying to get more motivated to do that. And of course, when we get up here from one day to the next, till we kind of get a routine going. One day you got a little extra time in the morning. Sometime like this morning, I had to get going early, so it's kind of like, all right, trying to find a spot where you can get it all done. And I didn't get back here till 5:30, so that's a pretty long day today. So,
Do we all just run off black coffee?
I pace myself with the coffee pretty decent because I can. I've got to. I can't just do a bunch of it. I have to kind of spread it out during the day. I try not to do any coffee much past about 2:30, 3 o'clock today. That's pretty much where I stop at.
Part of the intel that I have to gather on a daily basis is what's going to happen the next day, because that determines how many biscuits I cook in the morning.
Yes, you'll know who's going to show up and
That's
who's
right.
not.
Who's not? That's exactly right.
I'm more like Will Ferrell and kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
If I don't get my coffee, since I've been hooked on it since I've been up here. Have you ever seen that movie, Scott? Kicking and Screaming?
Oh yeah.
Where he just fires up at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
That's me right now. Like,
Yeah,
it better be black.
right. And coffee in the morning, and in the evening times, I still like especially when it's cool, like a little hot drink like that. I'll make a cup of hot tea, no caffeine in it. Like a little ginger tea or something like that. I like to do that, just kind of unwind in the evening too. Good little thing.
Hunter's been drinking tea. Oh, shout out to Hunter and Kerr. This is Kurt over here, ECM. Electric Cooperatives of Mississippi. Then we got Hunter at Cooperative Energy.
Yeah.
They got styrofoam cups, guys. If I don't know.
And look,
And they share.
I'm gonna run real quick. 1 second. Y'all can just go in there. I'm listening.
and then a shout out to all the crews out there that are still working up North Mississippi. They
Put that
share,
thing right there at the camera.
Oh, they are. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Shared service. These cooperatives help each other out, and I'm just glad to see that. And we've had Singing River crews from our area up there working. I know around Pontotoc, pretty many of them.
We were really kind of blessed in Mississippi in that we only got half the state. So we had crews from the other half of the state to help. Because normally you get them in from other states, but the other states are all
Right.
north of us in particular, just covered up.
Yeah. I think we myself and Representative Waldo, we pitched in some money. We were feeding the crews up there tonight in Pontotoc where she's at. And they got some crews from Missouri that came in to work, and they said the amazing thing, they said they've never eaten so much on a job in their life. They said usually when they go somewhere they get peanut butter and jelly, and said we've just been feeding them just big meals up there, and they're just real appreciative of it. And we're glad to help out where we can.
That's important though. Just a good meal changes everything.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's just a hot meal. I mean, look, I did Katrina. I was there. It's a good hot meal and a shower.
Right.
A shower, just a nice hot shower goes a long way.
Yeah, and you're staying out daylight and dark. I've worked on crews in my career, and then I had crews that worked for me. But the key to you want to the guys that are out working really hard. You want to give them that benefit, but also the fact that it helps keep production going too. So it's got a good positive either way like that. If you just feed them cheese and crackers while they're trying to get 12 hours of work in, it'll kind of get bogged down a little bit. But glad to help them out because it's hard. It's a long day and they're away from their families, and you want to take care of them.
What is the coolest thing y'all have cooked? The best
In my life?
No, what I'm saying for like any kind of like events or charity stuff. I know you do a lot of charity work, but like, what is the best meal you were like, I can't believe I cooked that?
Gosh, I don't know. I cook so many different things. I spent the last year trying to perfect my jambalaya with my big pot, like that. So it's like just a one pot meal when you feed a lot of people there. So jambalaya, I really enjoy doing.
Scott, I did it on purpose because he's talking about making jambalaya here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it here one night. I'm gonna do it.
I hope you do.
Yeah, we love jambalaya.
Without saying where we do get some jambalaya here occasionally during the session at some of the functions.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for one that's good.
Okay.
Jambalaya is underrated.
Well, I get all the pork and sausage and chicken that comes from locals. I don't get all the whoever where it came from there. There's in George County, we got Ferguson Farms down there. They produce, I can go get pork from them and sausage. And then there's another place you can get chicken at. So anything, the closer you can be to where it came from, the better.
Better off it is. Yeah.
Ooh. So let's go back to your jambalaya.
Okay.
So in your jambalaya, like what's some of your hits? I mean, what kind of sauces are you using in that jambalaya?
I use locally made sausage. I do get andouille. Now I will tell you, one thing we don't have in our area there is being able to buy andouille that's made here. So about twice a year, I'm in Louisiana and I make a round through there, and I go through Tangipahoa Parish, St. John, and there. If you go there all the way down to like Hammond down through that way, they make andouille down there, but you got to have the andouille to make it right.
You have any favorite brands?
Just the ones that make it locally down there. Gosh, I can't remember this. I don't usually buy it in the store, like the brand name stuff. I usually go find somebody that made it in their shop.
Yeah.
That's like me.
I'm going to have to get on your list when you do
When I do
that.
that,
so
because I'll get it. I'll pack up a bunch.
Well,
Put it,
I only use andouille in my gumbo.
yeah.
But I'm kind of limited to what Rouse's has.
That's right.
Which is the best source for Louisiana type stuff. But it's you're buying a package deal, not a homemade.
Right.
I'm big on the bull peanuts. That's me. Like I will find somebody sleeping in a corner. It doesn't matter if it says Cajun bull peanuts. It's got to be spicy. I'm not going for plain.
Right.
But I'll pull over the side of the road. That's also why it's nice to carry a little cash.
There's an interesting.
I was, by the way, I have to tell you, I was tempted and I fell, and I went to Wimbo's and got some peanuts the other night.
Shout out to Wimbros. Yeah, well, we actually have a meeting with the owner.
Yeah, I know.
We need to reach out to him. What is the burger place he has in Jackson?
McBee's out at the reservoir.
McBee's. So we are going to be Mike. We're going to be meeting you, and it's been wild when people say session. There's very little time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time where you're like you want to have a conversation, but everybody's on their phones. And look, I'm not even in this world, but I'm on my phone too. So it's kind of a respect thing where it's like, I'm here, man. There's the elbow,
right?
The fist bump, the 1 second, and it's like 1 second's like an hour. It's like the other last night for movie night. I was like we just finished dinner. DMR, you did amazing. Shout out to this company right here, Cooperative Energy, and Energy is Electric Cooperatives of Mississippi. They did a surf and turf with some oysters, shrimp.
Well, you got to give credit to the cook team from DMR. Those guys are incredible.
Well, I mean,
they don't fry. They don't do the grill. They do the fry, and the oysters and the shrimp.
Well, that's look, Joe. If you ever want to come on the podcast, General Joe. I know your favorite thing is beating Scott at backgammon.
That's right.
That's y'all best friends.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that because he gets fired up. It's like, and now we got Zach Grady over here playing backgammon, and he played.
He's coming along. He's coming along. When
you seen him get to the house, that was him by himself with Scott, and they just kept playing matches. I was cleaning up breakfast.
Yeah, and
it's fun to because you have to. It's a work-life balance, right? And that's one thing I truly enjoy about you is like. For when me and you were sitting telling stories, like it was like I worked Chevron, man. I when the crash happened, I put my retirement in Chevron, and you did 30 years.
30 years, that's right.
May I ask your age?
I'll be 60 this year. I hit that 60 milestone this year.
Yeah,
when's birthday?
Huh?
When's birthday?
April.
Okay.
Oh, go right there by Fool's Day.
Sonny died. Sonny died will be your birthday.
That's right. Right.
Well, the cool thing is, and there's a lot of things I want to get into. Like, I mean, the fact that you play music, you love your community. We talk, you have local spots that you care about. And the fact that, you're retired but then you do charity work, and then you decide to run for the House. Can we get into like how that started? How you even thought about that idea to go, I do a lot for my community, but I want to tackle Jackson.
Well, I can tell you, it's never been on my radar. My whole career. I knew I had milestones through my career, what I wanted to hit. You want to get to a certain point, and I hit my milestones probably about a year and a half before I retired. And I said, from here on, it's just going to be just like I'm gonna get up one morning and say, all right, it's time to move on. And I used to try to figure out when I'm gonna do everything like that. And you find out in life, as life goes on, is like it's hard to plan exactly when you're going to do stuff, but you can set goals for yourself and when you get there. And so I'd made 30 years there, and I just got up actually Memorial Day weekend in 22, and I woke up that morning. I said, it's time to come on home, And so I had to go through the process. It's not like you can just go in the next day and say, hey, I'm gone. I mean, some people have, but you take a while, and then you want people to be set up to kind of figure out what they're going to do. I had sort of gave my heads up that I was thinking about it, so it wasn't like a total surprise that I was.
Yeah.
And
you didn't pull the whole 2-week notice and then just quit.
No, I stayed there about 2 months before I left.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't leave like stressed or like this is too much. And granted, the work I was doing, I mean, it was full blast, constant all the time. I mean, it took me a good year when a hurricane was approaching the Gulf to quit thinking to pull up and look what inventories were in Port Eve and Tampa and Panama City. And
your mind just,
that was an automatic. As soon as you say storming, coming to the Gulf there, you start pulling and thinking about all that. And like, hey, get another barge over here. I'm gonna get a load over there. You're doing that. You're just getting ahead of it, because once the storm get in the Gulf, it changed everything you're doing. Then you got inventories. You got to make sure you got enough crude to last. If you don't shut down, which we usually don't, you got enough to say if you don't get a crude ship in for 5 or 6 days, hey, let's figure this plan out, make sure we can keep going, and then get people their products. But then it's such a large volume going through that refinery that you don't have capacity to store stuff for days on end. Now we've had times, I think we've had the port fogged in for like 5 days straight one time, and of course everybody's panicking. I'm like, it's the weather.
What does fogged in mean?
Fogged in means ship traffic can't come in and out. It gets a certain level. The pilots won't go out and get them. They won't let people come in. Just a safety factor. You can't. It's not like pulling up to the drive-in. You got to have a certain space and be able to see what's going on. You got to be able to see the markers. I mean, nowadays with GPS technology, you think, well, we could do all like this, but there's still. You come through the channel. I mean, you got a 600-foot ship coming through the channel. If it drifts us a little bit and starts dragging the side of the channel and start showing the size off like that, you got to shut everything down, go back and redredge, resound, and everything like that. You just don't want to do that. Yeah. So it's a lot to think about constantly. Now, that sounds like a lot, but I thrived on it. It's like, boom, 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 boom. And actually, COVID, they sent us home to do our work. And we had just swapped over a lot of technology where we could do a lot of supply chain on the computer. And as long as I was on the internet and had my phone, I could do everything. But I had developed a routine. I'd get up at 4 in the morning. I'd get with the night shift crews, kind of see where they were at, get ready, wait for the next crew to come in at 6, kind of get them lined out a little bit, and then had meetings up to about 8:30. And then I would work on some project stuff. But I was talking to people in the UK and, with teams on the computer and that. We changed over to that. You could call anybody. You didn't have to use the phone anymore. You could do it on the computer. And of course, we had all the terminals down in Central America. We were constantly with them all the time. And I remember one time I got on a call with them one time, and they forgot I was on there. So everybody was speaking Spanish. And then my friend Juan Torres, he was in Houston. He saw, all of a sudden he said, "Steve, sorry, we forgot you were even on the call here." And everybody just busts out laughing,
Did you, what was your attire? Were you wearing PJs when you're like, were you wearing a headset?
No, we turned the cameras on, but I just, look, I actually, to make it routine for me, I would get up in the morning, take a shower, get coffee, get dressed like I was going to work.
Because you were.
Because I was. Some people would just kind of casually, hey, they're still in shorts and t-shirt. And if I tried that, I felt like I wasn't even at work, and it just didn't feel right. So I'd get ready like I was fixing to drive to work, except I would be right there. And of course, you're on conference calls on the camera. So
And it's not like you were like a little company. It was a big company. It's still a big company.
Chevron's a big company. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Chevron gas stations.
Yes.
Correct. Right.
It's a global company. It's probably, I guess, second to Exxon. I guess, Exxon's always been so big, but Chevron's just right in behind it.
So we go back into the why you ran for the House and with your experience with Chevron, I think that you ran supply chains, and that's kind of if you don't run the supply chains, how many workers were a part of that crew where if things didn't go as smoothly, let's say you made a mistake, they happened, you failed, what was it like? I mean, you thrive under pressure, which I noticed that about you. Like, so what have you learned? Like, when you were starting to run in the House and you're like, just retired and you're like, okay, I'm doing this. Okay, let's go back to this for listeners. I really want to hear the story because it doesn't, like you said, you had this was not a plan.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, did you just walk by the courthouse one day and go sign up?
No, it didn't even start like that. I mean, it was like I started and just
obviously I know you didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I started, working on stuff for, just around the place there. Of course, I was going volunteering. Of course, there's plenty of work at your church where you belong to. If you got free time, there's always that. And then I joined Kiwanis, which mission is toward the kids, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, there were so many things you could sign up for, all kind of stuff, and then I just kept going and just kind of organically came along. It was like, I want to do something, be able to do something more, and then the opportunity came up to run. And I said, well, the way I ran is here I am. This is who I am and what I've done, and this is, I want to help the community, and that was it. And I was successful in winning, and that's still my thought process.
Were you wearing suits before then? Was that changed for you?
Chevron was not a suit and tie company. I mean, the CEO would walk in the door. He'd be at best a button-down shirt and slacks. That's the way we were. So I had to go buy suits. I remember I had to go buy suits because I didn't. I mean, I did have one, but it was just like for special occasions there. So
I saw that this morning.
Yeah, you're sharp, dude.
He comes walking in this morning. He's got this really sharp blue suit,
and I'm watching his cufflinks.
Right. And they're
measured, right?
Well, this morning the Baptist church had a breakfast.
Yes.
And so he was going to the breakfast. So I said, "Well, you got your going to church clothes on," but I didn't realize that their band was also playing at the event. So he was really dressed up.
Mm.
He cleans up real good.
Yeah, I do.
Scott, what we so when did you learn how to like have a good measurement on your wrist? Is that what we say it on the suit jacket?
Yeah, right.
When I got my first suit jacket, I was touching my knuckles. Okay. And then I rolled it up. Well, my mom, she just will throw she'll pin it up. She'll figure out how to get it right.
Yeah.
But for you, you're going into suits, you ran, and now you're in Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Take me to the situation your first year.
I knew two people, Mr. Bill Pygott, who's from Walthall County. I mean, I've been in George County more than half my life, but I was born and grew up in Walthall County, Tylertown. So Mr. Bill Pygott, I've known him since I was a kid. I'm not trying to date Mr. Bill, but I've known him since I was a kid. But he was here. I knew Mr. Ken Morgan a little bit. I knew of him because Marion County's right next to there. I knew of him. I just didn't know him that well. And then
two solid folks.
Right. And then Manley Barton, I've known for 30 plus years because Manley worked down there too. He retired about 18, 19 years before I did. And so I've known him for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And that was all I knew. So, you want to learn the process, but I've always found, I would go do projects in Africa or West Coast. First thing I got to go and do in the first few days is just go in there and just find out who's who. So I knew I had to do that. And I bet I was able to catch on to that pretty quick. Of course, I walked in the door and a lot of people I had never met knew a lot about me. And I don't know how, it's just like, that's just the way it is. You've been around, you know how it is. Like new guys coming, what's his background?
You think we don't do our homework?
I could tell.
Okay.
I could tell a lot of people did homework before I even walked in the door.
I mean, you're Greenhorn then.
Yeah. And of course, you just go in and and just kind of follow along and watch and observe. Being a new person, I know how that is. You come in and you got all these ideas, you want to come in and just bulldoze through. It doesn't work out too well there. You want to watch and kind of see what's going on, learn people, learn where we're headed, and kind of get a grasp on it. Now I'm in my 3rd year now. Not saying I got it completely, but I know what the expectations are with everybody now, and kind of I got things I want to do now to kind of work the process.
Where is your, for the folks back home, which I consider you the coast, where do you cover? Like what the towns?
Right. I live in George County. I've got the majority of George County. Manly's got 4 boxes on the south side, and Representative Elliott Birch has got 2 boxes on the north side. And then I go on over into the east, like roughly Highway 49 east of Stone County is where I've got. Of course, on the west side is Timmy Ladner. And I met Timmy early on. We got talking, got to know each other, know each other pretty well. And
are they House, Senate? I mean, I'm still learning.
Those are House.
Okay.
Now on the Senate side, Senator DeBar is my senator. I'm not his, it's weird how that is. He's my senator, but I'm not his state rep. Representative Birch is. So, because they're both from Leaksville, Greene County. And then on over into Stone County, we've got Senator Seymour.
We're talking Dennis?
Yes.
Thank you for bringing the eggs, Dennis.
Yeah.
I love your eggs, Dennis.
Yeah.
Makes you feel good.
That's where those came
Dennis's
from.
eggs.
Yeah. I forgot they had eggs. And I had known Dennis for several years. Dennis goes to church with us. I've known him probably 12 years, before we don't just hang out, but I've known him pretty well for a long time.
Y'all kind of hang out when y'all are back home sometimes? Y'all have any kind of like little meetings here and there?
Well, you talking about now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some we'll meet up with the locals, and of course he's got such a broad area. I'm probably a little bit more focused because being retired, I got a little more time to just go ride around and talk and catch up with everybody than most people that's got.
Well, you're retired, and Dennis has got military. Law practice, plus all of this.
Right.
So I have an idea he doesn't have too much spare time.
Yeah, that's right. And like I said, it's a lot with the Senate districts. They're a whole lot bigger, so there's a lot more territory geography to cover for them.
It's like, well, it's 52 versus 122, so it's 54,000 versus 22,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's significant difference.
Just to learn their names is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's hard. I mean, you can get in anywhere. I'll be honest with you. It's the same old thing. Just be nice. Hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
You come in with an attitude, they're gonna get you far. Still the same way. So I'm like trying to be not like learn names.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sat there with Banley, had talk with him. He's been here for a long time.
Yep. And
he's highly respected here. He's highly respected at home.
That's right.
I mean, he thrives off this.
Mm-hmm.
Saying shout out to Zuber.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Zuber. I mean, I'll always bring him because he thrives on this too. You get in these situations where, you're coming up here, you're trying to solve problems.
Right.
And you might not, look, you're swinging at the fence on some of these.
Mm-hmm.
And you win or lose. But the ones that get up and continue to do it and just brush it off, that's huge. Because there's a lot of voices. There's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of moving parts. It's fascinating. It's because there's not just 100, 112 in the House. You said
122 in the House.
122. Okay, 122, and then 52 in the Senate.
Right.
But then there's also government relations, lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
There's corporations. There's so many moving parts. The servers at the local spots. I mean, there's so many moving parts. Session comes a lot. Like session is it's fascinating. It's like I'm going to compare it kind of to Christmas. Okay. It lights up. It's moving fast and it's 90 days. And either you're drinking hot tea like Hunter does, or you're drinking coffee like me, black, French press.
That's right. It's Christmas. One day you get a bicycle, next day you get coals.
And it's so fast pacing.
Yeah.
And there's very little time for personal activities.
Right. Right. You know, and just you're speaking just coming up here and getting to know people and what goes on. But, you know, you mentioned earlier about, you know, we had my sister passed a few weeks ago and
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
and you're carrying yourself well. And I know you miss her.
And just the bond we've had here, y'all all reached out and, you know, and even, you know, the things that people don't see, you know, with the political world, they see the stuff on the news, you know, just you had this, that, and the other. But I can just about tell you pretty much when I got back out of the 122, and, you know, of course we're both sides of the aisle and we fuss and fight over policy, but I can't recall a single person who didn't come up to me and say, man, I'm sorry, or give me a hug or anything like that, you know, because, you know, we'll fuss and fight over policy and everything like that, but people care about each other. And I'm just so thankful for that.
I've watched you cry. Like,
well, I know.
But it's just, it's okay. Like, but it's like,
yeah.
You miss her. And it's just a situation where your phone's ringing, you're looking at me and it's like, oh, like, you know, and, you know, we've been spending time together. We all been together and it's like, heck, it's my first year up here, but I can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. Like you have to find, you know, and we're not the late night guys. And that's fine. Like we have a movie night up here. We have breakfast and it's just cool to be a part of it. And like last night, you know, before he did his thing, I mean, we were here 15 minutes and Hank brought his popcorn machine from the Capitol and
right.
And we look over and he already dozed off. It's 7 was it was 8:05 and he's
that's the funny thing about home, because I can't remember the last time I went to the theater with my wife and my daughter, which they've been very supportive of me too, and I just thank the world of them. I'm just so thankful for them. But they still like to go to the movie theater. Now granted, I like to go to the movie theater, but usually it winds up being like a $20 nap for me, because when I get in those, they got the newer chairs, it's like big recliners, and I get situated in that. I'm like, within 5 minutes, I'm out. So
that's just the $20 to you, not the rest of it.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right.
Well, they brought in, because I used to always go to I forgot the name of the movie theater when I bought my house in Hickory Hills at the Gaucher Singing River Mall at Tightwad Tuesdays, but they were serving beer and pizza, and it was so cheap on Tuesdays that I did a few naps.
Yeah.
But I had so much, and at the time they brought in tables, so it was like you had a booth, and they knew me because I come in, it was like $5 pitchers, and I'd always get a pizza, and they knew it. The owner was like, he already knew. He was like, all right, we'll have it out to you.
Yeah.
I think the big thing that I had to say is it's a very fascinating life, you know, and it's you know, everybody's got their own situation. Like right here, we got Annex just said, what are the benefits of a vest over a regular jacket? Okay, this is a members only jacket. Okay, I bought
they
this.
Still make those?
I've been having it for like 15 years. Yeah, and so I want to wear this jacket. Why are you wearing your vest?
I just kind of got to do it. Well, actually, my wife, this is one of my Christmas presents there, and I still like to wear it. I really like, you know, just to wear it.
And why am I wearing it?
Yeah, why are you wearing there? There's a question.
Well, honestly, because I was sitting here wearing a t-shirt and he comes in and he's got a vest and a little more on. I says, well, I'll go grab one of my vests and put it on.
I'll go grab a vest too, but this member only jacket don't even fit me. Like it's tiny. But I'm
still wonder where you got that at.
Thrift store, American thrift store.
I didn't know that you made that.
So when he was 13.
And then we got All Good 3,400. Good job, Jordan. Really getting to know our state representatives. Show that picture of the Wall Street. Show that picture on the wall of Scott when he was a hippie in the 60s. Love that guy. All right, that's somebody real close to us.
Yeah, somebody who knows you well.
Yeah, could be. It's
who do you think that is? Is it your brother Doug? Who is it?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, shout out to Doug.
Yeah, you know, he's we're working on getting him on. He's been doing some he's been going through a battle. It could be anybody, and I appreciate that. The whole idea behind the show is just, I don't think there's, you know, consider myself a host, stepdad's a host. It's more about having a conversation. That, you know, we lack conversation now. It's more than texting.
I don't know who that is because I think I avoided all the pictures when I was a hippie. But
It's somebody that somebody knows you. Okay. And, but no, it's cool. And I was like, to have a person like you and that's the whole idea, is showing that other side. It's sometimes you see us in PJs, like, pajamas.
Yeah.
Every now and then we dive into Scott's Snack Bar. You got to find a balance. I mean, it's because it's like, if you got to take a break, and I think having the breakfast and the movie night has been all right. And look, I'm pretty sure we'll do some late nights, but right now we've been able to get to the Admiral and get together and have conversations. Scott beat Zach Grady. I know you hear this, Zach. I know you hear this. Scott beat you this morning several times, and you made enough time to make it the Capitol. But how's it feel, Zach? How's it feel? Is it better than because like Zach will play like video poker? Everybody has their own little vices. And this,
so in Zach's defense, yes, he got beat pretty badly in the first 2 games, but in the third game, it came down to the last throw.
it was a double,
And he had me beat unless I threw doubles.
and you threw two.
And I threw doubles.
And also got Zach is playing. He's not playing illegal gambling. He's literally just playing fake money on an app on your phone that probably everybody has. Kind of like having Candy Crush. You got to find something to separate your mind.
Yeah.
So all right, first year, you kind of you knew a few of the locals. Second year, what was second year like?
Well, I felt a little bit more comfortable in the fact when I got here, I knew people, and just kind of working your way in a little bit too. And it was, it's kind of hard to describe, the big difference I have between the work I used to do with Chevron and what I did here is with Chevron, you had something going on. You had to say, all right, everybody sit down. What we got to do? Boom, boom, boom. Action items. Boom, 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 boom. All right, go. Here it's like, goes around in circles a while, so it gets there, but you got to learn. I felt a little bit more like watching how everybody operated and
You figured out how to be secretary of a committee?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
That's a job they always give a freshman when he comes in.
Yeah, that's
And
right. That's
you
right.
get-
And
it's like-
if the other one doesn't show up and you happen to be sitting there, they give you the book.
They give you the book.
That's right.
exactly right.
So,
We look at the situation like today. I think it was February 4th, right?
yes.
And that was 2 hours plus. I mean, guys, if you really want to know what's going on, Mississippi legislator on YouTube,
That's right.
search it, and
Yep.
they go live, and you can watch the committees.
Yeah,
You can watch
like
the House
both
and the
sides.
Senate.
That's right.
I mean, and it's a long process. Whether it's school choice or today, was I'm gonna mess it up, Scott. You had to say what it was today. The pharmacy stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The House took on some major challenges this afternoon on legislation.
Right.
They went ahead and advanced their schedule so they could go ahead and make sure they got those things dealt with, teacher pay, things like that were important to them.
Yeah, some fixes to PERS, and that's the one thing that's harder to explain to folks back home, especially like the first few weeks we did this. As why is this going on? I said, this is a process I've learned. You start in January, by the time you get to the end of March, you're looking like, man, this is not even where we started at. And we got the concept is there, but how you get there is totally different.
Well, the legislature operates on a series of deadlines, self-imposed.
Right.
All right. It starts off, you have deadlines to get the bills introduced so everybody knows what's there. Then you have the committees have to act. Then the floor has to act. Then it goes the other side and you repeat the process. Well, we start off with substantive about 2,000 bills. All right. That doesn't count the appropriation bills that come up later. And so you've got all this here. Meanwhile, you've got all the guys like me running around. When I started doing this, there were 300 of us. Now there's 3,000 of us. Okay. I mean, some of these associations have 10 people signed
Right.
up. So the numbers are kind of inflated, but still, it's a lot of people that want to get your attention and talk to you about those issues. That 3,000 or 2,000 last Tuesday got cut significantly by the committee action. I have not counted the number of bills, but it's About 250 per house. So we're now at about 500 bills from the 2,000 that we had before.
That's right.
And that's what we're now focusing on to move forward. And that becomes the real playing field of what the legislature is going to deal with as we go forward.
Mhm.
We got real quick. We got Justin Wessel in here. Vote yes to the House Bill 859 requiring in-person absentee voting to use OMR equipment, and let's get rid of these in-office absentee envelopes. Old circuit clerk from Harrison County would surely appreciate it.
Yeah.
I grew up with him, Mr. Mark and Justin. We all grew up together. His dad runs O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and he's one of the head guys. And Justin's been a diehard fan of the show. So he's really is the Harrison County circuit clerk. And he's so. What do y'all think on the Bill 859?
Well, that's you got to look at address what both sides are talking about. The clerks really like it because the way it is now. I actually had to go in and absentee vote the other day because I won't be there. Yeah, and you go in, you do your ballot, you put it there, and then you got it in the envelope, and then they got to sign it, stamp it. What they're wanting to do from the concept of this was just you vote just like you always do. You go ahead and scan it, and it goes. I don't know. You know how the box is when your paper copy goes into a locked box into it, stays there on a normal election day.
But we're talking election day. We're not. So this is a person that doesn't understand how the
Right.
bill. So we're talking about people that vote.
Right.
Okay.
Now, that's the absentee part. Now, the concerns around that is, well, who's the chain of custody of that period of time? What happens? So that's where the concern, because there's a lot of folks that have concerns. At a national level, you see a lot of times where they've talked about voter integrity and everything like that. Totally get that. So how do you find that spot where everybody can feel comfortable of it working efficiently, but yet making sure it's secure? So that's where you have to work that out.
What was the bill number?
859.
859.
59. Okay.
And that is from Harrison County, Justin Wetzel. I think he's about to. I think his campaign's coming up. He's just growing up, and he's a great father. I always tell this joke, like his wife knows when he puts his Beats on his headphones, like, and he puts the show on. She's like, "Oh, you watching the podcast?"
Right.
We're same cloth, St. Martin, and his brother Mark. We all grew up together. My dad that passed away. They all went to St. Martin together. They all grew up together.
Right.
Mr. Mark's one of them guys that works really hard, and he helped Justin with his campaign. And Mr. Mark is that guy that drives that Camry at O'Reilly's, and he's a Ford guy,
Right.
big Ford guy. But he runs a smooth shop. I mean, I shop at O'Reilly's because I know Mr. Mark's got what I need, and if he don't got what I need, he gonna find it for me. And I love working on my own vehicle, so it's cool to have a person like him. I'll walk to Miss O'Reilly's like, "Is Mr. Mark here?"
Right.
Like, Mr. Mark, where's he at? Well, he's seen other stores, so I think he's over other stores too.
Yeah.
But his main store is right there on Cedar Lake, exit 50. And if you need something, you go to Mr. Mark.
Yeah.
For those that are interested, that bill is alive. It came out of committee, and it's on the calendar in the House right now.
That's right.
Oh, there you go. So we got Kenny Glavin, Biloxi. Councilman Kenny, where are you at on your ward district? Let's see. Update on Senate Bill 2016 Mississippi Tourism Reorganization.
I think that's
reorganization. I can't read, so I'm doing my best. Act to create a standalone. Well, he threw the number 9 in there. Department of Tourism.
Yes.
And then Justin says recording the daily start and end totals and require reports to run daily by the circuit clerks. Results are not pulled from the ORM equipment until 7 p.m. on election day. We have, let's see, hold on, Justin, 1 second. We have to get this across the finish line this year. Sealed machine at the end every day, as well with a required seal log. Ward 6 is Kenny.
Okay.
That's all Justin and Kenny going back and forth. Trying to keep up, guys. Okay. I'm getting better at reading. So slow down. It takes a little while.
Okay.
What were you saying on the 2016? What is that?
That wasn't the right. What was the number on the
Senate Bill 2016. That was probably the tourism.
2016?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's the Senate bill.
reorganization.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
something they tried to do last year. They want to do it. Basically, tourism's in MDA right now, and I think there's a drive to
Create
a separate
Yeah.
tourism just for it, because you see it on the coast, but there's all around the state, and really in the long scheme, statewide, as far as having the growth, economic growth it needs, tourism's going to play a factor. We look at manufacturing, that's a big one, and services, but tourism is going to be a pretty big factor into the whole picture, because to get the growth we need, it's going to take everybody bringing everything they can to the table and taking who you are and I always say, be who you are, but be 2.0 of who you are. Meaning don't lose your identity, but yet improve on what you got and just advance it. Tourism's one of them. There's a lot of places, how do you do that? But with different areas have different kind of tourism. You go to the coast, we know what we have on the coast, but you go to Southwest Mississippi. I grew up over that way, and there's a lot of just rural places to go. You could probably do bed and breakfast, go to Natchez. We'll go to Natchez every few years just to go stay. I like to go stay downtown and go to we got a restaurant we like to go to. I don't know if it's still open. It's been a few years. The Castle, I believe it is, down there. And we'd like to go and just drive. I just like to, sometimes I like in cooler weather, I like it, just go over there and hit 61 and just head north and just look at everything. Go up the Natchez Trace.
And plus, we have Lydia was last episode. He's 127. She's 126. Check her out. But she's in the Admiral too, so she might just walk in.
Right.
So she might have more answers for you.
Not that we continue to give reports on legislation, but the tourism bill has already passed the Senate. Passed early in January.
Okay.
And it's just sitting in committee now over here in the House.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 2 years. Let's go to year 3.
Year 3 this year, it seems like
suits are getting better, haircuts are getting better.
Yeah, I probably need to go. Yeah, I've got a couple new suits there, but I try not to have too many of them.
You got a house band?
Yeah, we got started just getting to know everybody, and that was one. I know they kind of talked about it a little bit, and finally last year somebody asked me, said, "You play guitar, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "We've been talking about putting a band together. We're really going to do it this year." I said, "Okay." So it's just like it was casual conversation from Representative Tubbs and Representative Eubanks. And then Representative Blackwell, they said, well, he plays bass. And then Representative Sanford, he plays piano. And of course, Representative Varner, he's always like, yeah, you know how he is. I don't know if you met him. Okay. He's like, I sing. I said, okay. And then we're sitting around like, all right, who's the drummer? And we look, there's no drummer. There's no drummer anywhere. And we were out there after we gavelled out one day, and we were talking, and we were talking about the band after the session was over about doing some things like that. And we just happened to be, and a lot of us have gotten to be acquaintances, knowing Gerard Gilbert pretty well. And we were out there talking about a band, and Gerard just kind of goes, well, I play drums. And we're like, you got a job. Just come on.
And are we talking the Gerard Gilbert?
Yeah. That does midday on. Yeah, that's right.
Super Talk. Yeah, I met him at the house reception for Jason White.
Yeah.
He's a really good.
He's a good guy.
I like Richard Cross. Mm-hmm. Been admiring him, and then I go straight into Gilbert. Mm-hmm. It's like they just. I mean, 1 minute on sports, you don't know if Richard's. Let's be honest, guys. You don't know if he's in a cubbyhole somewhere.
Right.
And you got Gilbert, tackling his conversations, and I said, man, I love the fact that you'll spend, he's a big supporter of school choice, and he'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have that.
He's got his convictions about where he believes. Yeah.
And he plays drums. Yeah.
And we didn't know it. And he actually didn't have a set of drums. He said, well, I'm going to get some drums. Well, he goes and gets a really good set of drums. And then we start, the first practice we had was in the foyer of the building where they have the livestock show that has no air conditioning. That's in the foyer on the slab. That's where we had our first practice at. We finally talked somebody into letting us use one of the rooms that had, because this was summertime, and finally talked somebody into letting us use one of the rooms that had some air conditioning that was on in trademark. But then I thought this was going to be a little fun thing to do. Well, Joe Tubbs comes in. He said, I got us a place to play. I'm like, where? He said, we're going to play in the Neshoba County Fair. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's where everybody plays. Yeah, we're playing. We got a certain, Representative Bounds got us there. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah. I'm like, well, we really need to practice it because that's a big deal. So we were hitting it, and the Representative Eubanks is in DeSoto County, and I'm the further south in George. So it's logistically, it was hard to get practices in, but we got it all together. And of course, we got up there, and then we were opening for somebody. I can't remember who it was.
What type of music do y'all play?
Just country, rock, whatever. We did gospel songs. We did praise songs this morning at church. I mean, we just like all
Little Leonard Skinner sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do that. Yeah, we do. We do.
I think it's fascinating that y'all just like, okay, we need a band. Like,
Yeah.
let's do a band.
Yeah, and Gerard's a big Journey fan, and I said I can play some of the songs, but we have nobody that can sing like Steve Perry, so we're kind of stuck on that. We can't do that one.
Are you saying you can't pull off "Don't Stop Believing"?
We don't have a singer that can get that. We don't have. I mean, Steve Perry is one of a kind. No auto tune before that. He's just the real deal. So
You look at, it's cool because that's like a thing you look forward to after work.
yeah,
I mean, this ain't sitting around. I think that was the biggest thing is people like, we did with Zuber when he had him on, was like, everybody thinks we're in Washington. In reality, we're right here,
I get
Jackson,
that.
Mississippi.
Real. That's real.
Jackson, Mississippi, and it's fast.
That's right.
I mean, it is a fast play, and it is. You got 90 days, and what is that? What is it? $7 billion? How much? What is the budget right now?
Plus, yeah, I can't remember what the exact number. is.
The state budget's about $10 billion all told.
Yes,
And you got 90 days.
yeah.
So what does that break down to?
Do it
Scott?
every year.
What does that break down to per day?
Mhm.
Click, 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 click.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't-
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I
don't
mean,
know.
let's just say $3 billion a month. Okay, that's about $3 billion a month.
Yeah, but well, they're not spending that. They're just developing that budget through the appropriations process, having hearings, testimony from all the agencies about their needs, the universities, what are our capital needs,
Mhm.
those kinds of things that go through. But then they establish a budget based upon a prediction that they get professionally of how much money we're going to have to spend. Because constitutionally, we have to have a balanced budget in Mississippi.
That's
We're
right.
not like the federal government. We don't print money. We balance our budget
That's right.
every single year.
That's right.
And I'm pleased to say right now we're about 156 million ahead of the projection
I saw that.
on the money that we've got available to us right now.
Right.
So
That's
it's they're conservative about their estimates, but nobody, I don't think anybody really expected this much of a excess.
Yeah, even before the tax cuts got implemented last year, there was already tax cuts starting back a few years ago when that started.
Yeah, on the 4%. Yeah.
And even with those tax cuts on the income going on, still get more. The forecast is more than you think
Yeah.
it's going. You start thinking, when's this going to start cutting into it? But so far, everything's been going.
Let's dive in a little more to we're 156 million ahead. Dumb it down for me.
Well, that is, to me, and my background's in business and everything like that. And, to me, that boils down to GDP growth. When you cut, you're not taking it from the income like your people who's making it. So what's happening? There's things going on, transfer. I've got money. I'm going and buying stuff. The services out there who serve you to do different things for you. Like this commerce, construction, all that stuff that's moving around like that. When the cash flow is going around, it's generating income while it's going. So when you've got GDP growth where everything's kind of going in a positive direction, it's not just stagnant, you'll see more growth just on its own. And the difference is instead of me taking my money out of my check when I on my income and don't ever see it, I'm going out and doing things that I feel is productive, and it's growing like that, and the revenue's coming back to the state.
Okay.
That's the balance. Now, it's how do you figure that out? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. You do get it going the right direction, but
Then the question becomes, what do you do with the money?
right.
Well, the first thing the legislature does is they have a reserve fund, a balance, a percent that they maintain. So that's almost inviolate. That's something that we do in Mississippi, so we don't ever get in trouble down the road. If that 156 had gone the other way, we had the money in the bank to cover it. We weren't going to end up not being able to pay bills. Then you look at it and say, well, what are our needs? What are the current needs? We've talked about teacher pay. We've talked about the PERS issues, those kinds of things, and all will be on the table for consideration as they go forward to make the decision.
Do y'all have a reserve?
Yes.
Yes.
So that goes to like, I was at a town hall meeting with Delano about insurance.
Yeah.
It was over, roofs or, fortified is a big thing coming, especially for, coast. And look, shout out to the families in North Mississippi right now with the storm, for us, like Amazon, one thing cool about Jackson is you can get the same day, but at the same time, we did go a little while with, without getting our packages, no big deal, but there's people in North Mississippi and Tennessee too, that are, they're suffering, struggling. You look at Ian and Avery on the coast, my buddy runs 701 and his girl, their family was elders, and you're talking about, it's a different cold between the coast and here, and then up north even more, and you're out of heat. I've been watching videos of people just with no hot meals,
right?
And it's how do you get to them? So there's disasters everywhere.
Yeah,
it's not just hurricanes.
That's right. And I think we had, you learn some lessons as you go along. We, being from on the south end right here, we have to deal with hurricanes. And one thing I learned, I didn't run out, but one thing I learned from Katrina is now I'll make sure there's some non-perishable stuff during peak hurricane season in case about a week goes by. I'll make sure we got some beanie weenie and Vienna sausage and crackers. I'll be all right, and you'll get by for several days, but you missed a hot meal, and that's what's, you just like to get that back. So
you just want a hot shower, hot meal.
Oh yeah.
Look, I went through Zeta. Like I tell you, and I'm okay. I'm fine with, the mask on side my house. Got pulled off. Shout out to ANG Electric. Came in, buddy of mine, Gilbert and Abe. They came, put it right up. This power came right, got me right.
Yeah.
But I want a couple weeks. I mean, it's not. I just want a hot shower every now and then. But I'm so used to the hurricanes. I choose to live there.
Yeah.
Well, we have the hurricanes and we think of it in terms of Mississippi, but 50% of the population of the United States lives within 100 miles of water.
That's right.
Okay. So everybody is at risk of storms and things like that go on. The federal government has taken a look at it and said, well, if people choose to live close to water, then they're going to have to help pay for it, because we can't continue to pay for the privilege that people have of living looking at the ocean. So prices are going up, the coverage and those kinds of things that are out there. But what works, and this is a great story. A friend of mine just finished building a house in Long Beach, and he was up in North Long Beach. He moved downtown, built it right on the main street where they got some downtown stuff going on. You can look out his front door and see the ocean. Okay. He built the house with the new standards, everything fortified, like we're trying to get everybody to do. His insurance is cheaper now than it was in his house up north.
Yeah.
Okay. When he was not in the flood zone or the zone. It shows that there's legislation pending to deal with that. And we really need to get that passed this year. But he said, look, it was only $3, but I was shocked that it was actually less than it was before.
That's huge. That was a big thing with Delano. That was
that's what he was talking about.
He's tackling it.
Yeah.
I as owning an insurance company, I see it when I do closings. Shout out to Wesley Burks, my buddy, and a lot of the real estate agents, Will, and people that I work. I love being able to service people that are selling homes and closing on homes, and the locals, everybody. I'm working 7 days a week. You know that. You call my phone and I'll do the best I can.
Right.
I mean, that's but you're seeing that fortified. I mean, they did Michelle. She's assistant director of the Coliseum. They did her and her wife's Nicole's a new home, and they had fortified, and she saved 35%. I mean, and it's a good product.
Yeah.
All it is strap your house down more. It's pretty much be here, get that house strapped down. And that's, instead of, and the thing is, because there's a lot of people that move around and they'll do your roof, but they're not certified.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of companies that go in, they'll do it and they'll seem that way. And then all of a sudden they throw their phone away.
Right.
And that's a real thing. Would you like to come back on the show? I know, because we're like we just hit an hour, and I feel like I want to hang out. I think we had a big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to say appreciate you listening on the live. I'm gonna work really hard tonight, and hopefully you'll see the show out tomorrow. I just can't guarantee, but I'm gonna do the best I can. But yeah, we're gonna have Steve on a lot, and to his family, he's working hard. To his people in the community, he's working hard.
Yeah.
It's just, there is a time where we just want to sit around and get an hour in before everybody says good night. Love you guys so much. And Justin, I'm finish this off with Justin. Appreciate you having legislators on, brother. Keep folks informed and get to knowing some of it's just about to make me cry. Across the state. Good job. I'm going to keep up. I'm going to come up to Jackson in the next week. Let's have breakfast. There's, you might have to come up here and get on the show. That's something I always told you. And, but yeah, man, I'm proud of you. Keep your head up and keep working hard. And, same thing with, Sharon, shout out to Sharon, our tax collector in Harris County. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here for the session. We're going to find a spot over here because we have, my family, we have an all year round place. Then I'm going to pick up another place here where I can really dive into, more equipment, and we have a limited room, but I love you guys. And,
but we may have limited room. But if you come up and you got something you want to say, we have an extra mic for somebody that might happen to drop by and have something they want to say.
Right.
And bless y'all, and have a great night. And we're going to be on Spotify, iTunes. Subscribe to the Jordan Durham podcast. You'll see me with a platinum tooth when I was a kid at Tylertown. And then, yeah, love you guys.